It was a seemingly ordinary day in the quiet town of Chardon, Ohio, but darkness was lurking beneath the surface. As soon as T.J. Lane walked into Chardon High School on February 27, 2012, he set his deadly plan into motion. Armed with a stolen .22 caliber handgun, Lane entered the school cafeteria with sinister intent. Chaos erupted in seconds as Lane targeted a specific table of students, unleashing a hail of bullets. The innocent victims had no time to react or escape the horror unfolding before them. The sound of gunshots echoed through the cafeteria, spreading terror throughout the school. 5 students were rushed to the hospital, fighting for their lives, while 3 others tragically succumbed to their injuries. The community was left in shock and disbelief. How could such a senseless act of violence occur in their peaceful town? As news spread, parents anxiously awaited updates on their children, praying for their recovery. 2 teachers, Frank Hall and Joseph Ricci, emerged as heroes amidst the chaos. They bravely confronted the shooter, risking their own lives to protect their students. Their selfless actions would be remembered forever. As the dust settled, the full extent of the tragedy became painfully clear. The lives of 3 young souls were cut short, leaving a void that could never be filled. The entire community grappled with grief, struggling to comprehend the senselessness of it all. Amidst the mourning, questions lingered. How could such a tragedy have been prevented? What led T.J. Lane down this dark path? These questions would soon be addressed in the courtroom as justice sought to hold him accountable for his heinous actions. Lane, a troubled teenager with a troubled past, was indicted on multiple charges, including aggravated murder. During the trial, Lane displayed a lack of remorse, even revealing a white T-shirt with the word "killer" scribbled on it, showing it off with a smug smile. Despite his young age, Lane was found competent to stand trial and was charged as an adult. The courtroom became a stage for a gripping drama that captivated the nation. The families of the victims, still grappling with their immense loss, faced Lane in court, their eyes filled with pain and anger as they sought justice for their loved ones. The weight of their grief was palpable as they listened to the harrowing details of the shooting and the impact it had on their lives. Lane's defense team faced an uphill battle, tasked with presenting a defense for a young man who had pleaded guilty to the charges. The courtroom was filled with tension as the prosecution and defense clashed in their pursuit of justice. As the trial unfolded, chilling details of Lane's motive and premeditation came to light. It became clear that this was not a random act of violence but a targeted attack fueled by personal rivalry. Witnesses attested to Lane's knowledge of the victims from school, painting a disturbing picture of a troubled teenager consumed by hatred and resentment. The courtroom was a battlefield of emotions as the families of the victims confronted Lane face to face. Their words were filled with grief, anger, and a demand for justice. The weight of their loss reverberated through the courtroom, leaving a lasting impact on all those in attendance. Lane, however, showed no remorse, acting detached and even smiling at times. Finally, the moment of reckoning arrived. T.J. Lane, devoid of any empathy, stood before the judge to receive his sentence. The courtroom held its breath as the judge delivered the decision that would determine Lane's fate. In a stunning turn of events, Lane received 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. The judge's words echoed through the courtroom, delivering a resounding message that such acts of violence would not be tolerated. Lane's reaction to his sentencing was as chilling as the crime itself. He showed no remorse, no hint of regret for the lives he had taken. His cold and detached demeanor left those in attendance stunned and horrified. With the trial concluded, the families of the victims were left to grapple with the aftermath of their loss. They sought justice not only in the courtroom but also through the legal system. Wrongful death suits were filed against Lane's family and the school district, seeking accountability for the tragedy that had unfolded.